Hello and welcome back. My name is Eric from the American Eagle Institute, and once again, I'm pleased to be joined by our two guests, Benson and Jeff. So if you guys could just quickly introduce yourselves again for the audience.
Hi, this is Benson. Nice to see you guys again.
I'm Jeff. We're back.
Great. So in the last episode, we talked about these players and their experiences abroad, their experiences with the game. And today we're going to be getting to talk a little bit more about their journey to becoming professional basketball players, as well as their journey in their fluency in English. So very excited for that. But first, we have a special treat for you. We're going to be looking inside each of these players' gym bags to get a better sense of what they bring to the games and bring to practice. So Benson, why don't we get started with your bag first?
Sure. So this is my gym bag, and I'll always bring my shoe bag with me, which is have my basketball shoes in it.
Very nice, very nice. Let's take a look at those shoes.
And this bag is also given by the national team in Taiwan.
Very cool. Oh, nice.
So this is KD 13, which is a very comfortable shoes to me.
Very important to have comfortable shoes while playing, I'm sure.
And then I'll bring my own water bottle and towels.
Well, here, maybe I can hold one corner of that.
Yeah, this towel was given by my father's high school team in Taiwan.
Oh, very cool, very cool. So it's got some history behind it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Also the book that I carry with me all the time, because I think it's a really inspirational book, and it's about the story of Phil Knight, the founder of Nike.
Oh wow, that's great. And I'm sure all our parents at home will be very excited to see that these basketball players not only carry sports equipment, but also books. You know, so students, you know, knowledge doesn't end. You know, outside of school, you can always keep learning, keep reading, no matter what you're doing. So very nice.
That's it.
Great, great. Thank you so much. And now let's get a look at Jeff's bag.
All right, let's take a look. So I actually have to go to practice after this shoe. So this is my go-to practice bag. So first thing first, I got basketball shoes. I also wear KD 13 because it's pretty comfortable shoes to wear. It's my go-to basketball shoes now. Water, gotta stay hydrated, water bottle. I always bring my own water bottle. Oh, basketball socks. Coffee bottle. I always drink coffee before each workout. So I also bring my own coffee bottle. Towel. I bring a big towel because I sweat a lot, so I can wipe my sweats. Deodorant, gotta smell good after each workout. Face wash, wallet, my jersey. So the Dreamers, this jersey actually means a lot to me because my first professional team I joined, first jersey I got when I become basketball pro player.
Wow, very cool.
My last name in the back. As you can see, number 14. It's my favorite number. Yep.
I also brought my jersey with me too.
Oh yeah, let's get a look.
This jersey means a lot to me too, because this is my first national team jersey. And I was gonna pick number 14, but some older guys from national team already picked it, so I had to change it to 23.
Yeah, Jeff beat you to it. Well, very nice. Yeah, those are great. Thanks for showing all that. All right, thanks a lot, guys, for showing us that. Now I wanted to ask you a few more questions about basketball, because you know I'm sure the audience, especially the kids at home, are curious as to how you got from just playing basketball for fun, maybe, to working your way all the way up to where you each are now. So maybe you could talk about first how long each of you have been playing basketball for.
I've been playing basketball for like 10 years.
Wow.
And for me, I think I started playing when I was 2nd grade, just playing around, play at some parks.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. And when, for each of you, did you kind of go from playing for fun to really thinking about maybe I can make a career out of this?
I for me, I think it's like 5 years ago, like when I decided to go study abroad in the United States. That's when I decided I'm gonna be a pro player.
Nice.
For me, it's probably when I graduated elementary school and I decided to go to this powerhouse middle school, and they got good basketball program, and that's when I decided to play seriously. Like, I think I'm probably have a future in this profession, just playing basketball for fun, not just for fun anymore, just start playing more seriously, yeah.
Make a career out of it. So I think one thing that, you know, is shared between both of you is that you had to balance basketball with school. And I was wondering, you know, did you have any difficulties figuring that out at first, and you know, what you figured out to help balance those two things in your lives?
To me, I think manage your time smartly is the most important thing, like for student athletes to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me as well, time management and like how you try to balance your basketball and your academic in terms of what time to do what, like, or you probably go to study hall before you go to practice, or you try to work on this project before you try to go play some sports like that. So I think get your priorities straight as well. Just see what's important for you and how you try to find balance between these two.
Yeah, totally. Figure out what you need to, or what you want to put the most time towards. Yeah. I guess this is probably less true for you guys since you've been playing for a long time. But for me, and I didn't play sports until about high school. But I noticed actually that even though it was difficult to manage time sometimes, I actually found myself more productive and more focused because I had to manage my time so strictly. Have you guys kind of noticed that too, where sort of, you know, almost because you're so busy, because you have to balance these things, it makes you more focused, more motivated?
Yeah, for sure. Like in college, like we pretty much don't have any free times because like our basketball schedule is so packed. Like we play like 33 games, we travel every 2 weeks. So just check. One of the tips I use is try to manage your time by see ahead of your schedule, like, oh, in 1 week, what kind of assignments you gotta finish, and calendars wise, like to mark your calendars, get your priorities, each day what you have to do, some stuff like you always try to remember and mark it down. It's one of the good tips I use.
Yeah.
Add on to what Jeff just mentioned, I think figure out what is your need, like what you needed to do, not you want to do. Yeah. Like for example, like if I had a quiz tomorrow, like I need to study for it, not to like playing video games or go hang out with my friends. Yeah. That's another important thing.
Yeah, just gotta make sacrifice to like what's really important.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure, you know, when you have that many things to do, it's you can't afford to just put it off till the last minute.
Yeah,
you know ahead of time what you need to do.
Don't procrastinate, kids.
Yeah. easier said than done. Yeah. Very good advice though. So I think another thing that's really impressive, you know, in addition to balancing these schedules, is especially, I think, to the students learning English, how good both of your English is. So I was wondering for each of you when you started learning English, and I know that a lot of, for both of you, you learned a lot of English studying abroad, playing abroad. So I was wondering, you know, what that looked like for each of you.
So before I went to the States to study high school, I didn't really speak any English, like basic English, like how are you, introduce yourself, and I didn't really have some kind of idea of what grammar and spelling, your sentences, like your pretense and stuff like that. So one of the funnest stories I always tell people, like when I first got there, I went straight into their high school, so I didn't go to any like ESL program stuff. I just started as like the regular kids at school. So I think the first week, like I didn't really speak English, right? So they will ask me about like, oh, how are you, and what kind of favorite food you have in Taiwan, or what, and stuff like that. And I would just keep smiling. I couldn't understand what they're saying, so I was like, yeah, and they thought I understand that, but like 1 day passed, 2 days passed, they're like, why is Jeff always smiling? I was just asking a simple question, why is he smiling? Yeah,
just fake it till you
make it.
Yeah.
So one thing you gotta improve yourself is like I mentioned earlier, like last episode, like you gotta be more confident, like and don't be shy to ask. And once your confidence levels keep adding up, and you're be better at it every day. And also you gotta watch a lot of TV shows that will help you improve your English skills as well.
Yeah, just to really get to hear.
Yeah, I get to hear like how they're saying, like even like everyday life conversations, like one of the greatest shows, like Friends, like a lot of people watch that to learn English.
Yeah, because you know you learn a lot in class, but it can be really helpful, I think, to hear. You know, colloquial English. How
like slangs.
Yeah,
and
slang
stuff
and
like
everything.
well.
How normal English is spoken.
Yeah.
What about you, Benson?
My situation is very similar to Jeff's. Like I didn't really speak any English before I went to the United States, so. I think speak up, like the willing to speak up is a very important part for you to get used to the environment or fit in the classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. I think speaking up and even though it can be very daunting, it can be very kind of scary to put yourself out in a situation where you really don't know what's going on. I think, you know, not be afraid to make mistakes, speak up is really smart. I know I've been studying Chinese, trying to improve my Chinese, and there's lots of times where I have, you know, made mistakes, but just keep moving forward is important. One time I had tried taro root for the first time, which in Chinese is, correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but 芋头.
Yeah, 芋头.
Yeah, and but I went around telling everybody that I'd eaten 芋头. You know, everyone was giving me these weird looks like fish head. Why? And I was like, yeah, fish head ice cream. It's delicious. It's so sweet. And you know, it took a while for me to realize where I went wrong. But you know, like you guys said, just keep trying and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I think it's really, really good advice. I think, Benson, you were saying how like when you first were practicing, sometimes what the coach was saying, you know, you only catch 50% of it. I was wondering how that, you know, if that presented difficulties in the game at first and how both of you were able to learn from that and keep moving forward.
Like me and Jeff just mentioned, just don't afraid to make mistakes. Just willing to be vocal. If you've got any questions or problems, just ask and somebody will help you.
Good advice.
When me and Benson got there, they know we're from, like we're not local, so they know English not our first language, that's a second language. So sometimes like we will ask and they will just try to help you. They try to understand, oh, this word means what? They will use like a simple word, it's like English definitions. Like, oh yeah. If like difficult, I mean hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, difficult, hard. Yeah.
You
so,
get this in it.
Yeah. So like they'll try to help you. They're not gonna like make fun of you because like you don't speak English fluently. Yeah. They probably will make fun of you because you don't speak. They say, oh yeah, this guy don't speak. Stuff like that. So for me, like just don't be shy and just be active, not passive. Just find a way to learn like every day.
Yeah, I like that, and I think that's really good advice, students. You know, for the classroom too. You know, nobody's gonna make fun of you for not speaking, but at least you know we hope that. But I think it's more important to speak and make mistakes than to not speak, not try, because you're afraid of making mistakes. Because everybody makes mistakes. You know, even if you're not the strongest student in your class, and you see other students who are really confident, I guarantee you those students. They made lots of mistakes and they still make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But the best way to get better is, like you guys said, don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and, you know, keep trying. I think that's great advice for, you know, English and basketball. I was wondering, are there any other lessons or advice that you learned in basketball that kind of can apply to other parts of your life?
Perseverance is probably the most important thing that basketball has taught me, and it also helped me to face problems in different areas of my life. Yeah,
that's really, I think perseverance is great.
For me, I think like in sports, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. It's not like every game. Sometimes you're not always at the top. Probably like you get injured, so you gotta step back up. You guys go over again, rehabs and stuff, step by step. So for me, it feels like So it's the same thing as learning English. Not every day you'll get 100% the test. Sometimes you get 80% because you study really hard. But during those times, it's the really important time. Like how you treat yourself during those tough times or translate later. Like, oh, if you score 60%, oh, but I studied really hard, but oh, I'm not gonna do it again because I started hard, but I don't get good results. But that's not probably the case because you gotta keep working hard every day. Eventually, probably not always pay off, but it will add up. Like every little things will add up. It's like the basketball taught me.
Yeah.
Like during those years, yeah.
Yeah. So even if you don't get the best marks on something, it doesn't mean that it's not worth something. And you know, every time you're trying, if you're putting your best forward every time, even if you get a bad grade, you're learning. And as long as you're putting 100% in, and you know, making progress, that's what's important. Yeah. I think that's really good advice from both of you. Thank you. I think one thing, especially from us, you know, non-professional players, is wondering how playing in front of a big crowd changes the game, and how you know, how you get used to playing in front of big crowds. What has that been like for both of you?
For me, it's like sometimes I still get nervous. Like the night before, I would think about like how I'm gonna play tomorrow, like how many people are gonna be there. So I always believe it comes from preparation. Like every day, like I mentioned earlier, every day it adds up. So if I give my 100% to myself every day, I try to get better every day. I keep working on stuff. Like I always want to work right. So even though the result probably not gonna be good, or like you're still gonna be nervous and stuff, but once you give yourself 100%, you're not gonna be as nervous anymore, because like you don't feel like, oh, I cheated, or there's something I don't prepare. Like you just go out there and just perform. Yeah, it's pretty much perform the instincts. Like, oh, sometimes in sport we talk about muscle memory. So it's like, oh, if these shots I take 100 times already, so why not just in the game I only get 5 shots, but I already made like 1,000 shots. So these 5 shots, if I don't make it, it doesn't really mean I don't shoot. Yeah.
I like that.
Some people might think playing in front of a big crowd, like it will put a lot of pressure on them. But for me, I think it's pressure is on those people that their struggle of living, and we're just having fun and do the things we love. So I think it's more of a privilege than pressure to me.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think both of that's really good advice. And you know, whether you're playing a sport professionally or whether you're doing something else in front of a crowd, to remember, first of all, that you've worked really hard, you've put in 100%. So, you know, have confidence in your own ability. You know, nothing's gonna change about the effort you put in because there's more people there. And also, really important is to remember why you're there, you know, that you're doing it because it's something you love to do. At the end of the day, you're there to have fun, to really have a good time, do your best. I think keeping those two things in mind can really make a big difference, whatever the crowd is, you know, whatever the obstacle is. But it's true, you know, it's very easy, I think, for a lot of people to get nervous in front of a big crowd. And so crowds can be one source of stress. Another one can be other environments in the game, like, for example, what the weather is like. I know that there's a tennis pro, Federer, who was ranked #2 in the world for tennis. But one night, you know, for a league game, it was very hot, very humid, and the heat got to him, and he ended up actually losing a match to somebody who was ranked 55. So, you know, I think that there's a lot of different factors, and definitely the environment can play a big factor as well. I know that, you know, in this day and age, environmental conservation and protection is very important. I was wondering, for each of you, when you started to notice and think about the environment, what made you realize, you know, that we need to be more mindful of how we live?
For me, it was like a couple years ago when I heard about global warming, and then I started to realize how many trash or like wasted stuff that we can change can reduce waste. Yeah.
For me, I started noticing when each year we get hotter and hotter, and there's like news about how the how the ice.
Yeah, the ice caps are
melting.
melting.
Caps are melting. And yeah, for me, it's not climate change is not an issue anymore. It's the problem. It's like all we gotta face right now. For me, it's about awareness, like how we can change the way we live. Like I mentioned, I bring my own coffee bottle. I bring my own water bottle to reduce waste, reduce plastics.
Yeah.
I also ride little electrical scooters in terms of to get around in Taipei. I don't own a car, or sometimes I'll take MRT or the bus, like public transportation. Yeah. So it's about awareness, I feel.
Definitely. I think that's, really good advice from both of you that, just to be aware of it and to, take little steps in your day to reduce your waste, reduce your carbon footprint. Nike, as we know, is also really passionate about this, which is great. Nike actually has a project called Move to Zero, which is where their goal is to eventually get to zero carbon emissions, zero waste, and all of the things that they do and make. Which I think is a really great goal. So, Jeff, you started talking about your, what you do with your day-to-day life, using reusable cups, taking a scooter, public transportation. Benson, I was wondering, what are some other things that you do in your day-to-day life?
Pretty similar to Jeff's. I would take public transportation or bring my own water bottle and towels to the gym. And also put my shoes or clothes that are not in use to charities.
Oh, that's a great one. Jeff, actually, I think you have another use that you've done with shoes, right?
Oh yeah, this one campaign Nike did a couple years ago. They were trying to open a brand new store in I think in Xinyi district, and they asked me to turn in my shoes so they can make up a chair. And I think part of the store designs, like they recycle like people's shoes and try to make it like a store, like those shoes wall stuff. Like they all made up of shoes.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Out of the material from the
it's
shoes.
Pretty meaningful. So I actually have my shoes on the chair, saying I sign it as well.
Oh wow, that's cool. So you can see exactly where the shoes got to afterwards. That's very cool. Yeah, thank you both of you. I feel like for both of you, sustainability sounds like it's really about the actions you take and the goals you have in mind. Kind of like same thing with basketball, having a goal. With sustainability, having a goal of trying to live cleaner, live more resourcefully. I was wondering, for some of our younger students, if you have any suggestions or tips for ways that they can live more sustainably, things that they can do to help save the earth.
To the environment around you, like, if you try to buy a drink, don't ask for straw, that's the easiest part. Or you ask your parents to turn on the AC, air conditioning, which is, you can turn up the temperature and use the fan. That'll be easier. It's more, AC is not really a good thing for the earth, but we can reduce little steps by little steps.
Yeah, and if everybody does a little bit.
It adds up as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, mine's pretty similar to Jeff's. Just if you're going out to eat, bring your own silverware, like chopsticks or spoons. Yeah,
you don't use the disposable kind. Make sure you bring your own. Yeah, I really like that. And I think, students, if we think about what we do every day, a lot of times we have snacks, or we, when we get lunch, we, are using silverware. It's really good. I know I always bring my own chopsticks, fork, spoon. Because if you think about it, just one purchase like that can last you for many, many years. And if you think about every day how many plastic, straws or plastic chopsticks, forks, whatever, it really can make a big impact, especially if you talk to your friends and get more people to be doing the same thing. So I think that's great advice from both of you. I was wondering if there's anything else you wanted to kind of leave with the kids, as any tips for basketball or for staying healthy, for the environment, anything just to kind of, keep them thinking and improving.
Just don't afraid to fail and keep fighting for your dreams until you reach it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's short and sweet, huh? For me, it's like, don't afraid to your failure. It sounds like you.
Yeah,
never quit. Don't give up. Like sometimes life throw a curveball at you, but don't afraid to take a fall stuff. You'll get back at it. Just keep working, keep improving yourself, and don't afraid to fail. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I think that's true. Like we've talked about in pretty much everything. You know, whether it's basketball, another sport, whether it's English or any of your classes, anything that you want to do, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and have confidence in your own ability, because all of you are, you know, hardworking, smart, talented people, and I know that you can all do great things, you know, and like these two have shown, if you put your mind to something and you work hard, you know, you can do anything. So I just want to say thank you so much, you guys. It's been such a privilege to talk to you today. I really appreciate it. Thank you all.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, and look forward to more videos like these in the future. It's been great, and all of you have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.